Hi friends, it's Linda. This must be take like 492 because I'm having filming issues. My camera keeps shutting off in the middle of videos and then I can't seem to access them. So I apologize. I've filmed so many things, unfortunately, with this journal that you didn't get to see me make real time for lots of odd little reasons here. So I'm going to try this one again, and hopefully we'll have a winner. So I want to show you the fabric and beaded elements and explain to you how I made them with a couple of brief tutorials. So with the 3 signatures in the journal, I opted to put 3 fabric elements in each signature. So the first fabric element in the first signature is this cluster that I made. And it is on a lace base with a little piece of fabric, a button, a little bit of trim, a little applique, and a teeny tiny cute little deer there. I hope you can see that. I'm not sure. That's showing up very well. And these are all things that I just glued on. I did not sew this one. Since I was making these on film, on camera, I didn't want to try to drag my sewing machine over, so I just made ones that I knew I could do with glue. So, and I also want you to know, if you're a bit of a novice or the thought of having to sew keeps you from making journals, that you really don't have to. It's always lovely when you can, but it is certainly also lovely when you don't. So I don't think that it's a necessity. So anyway, I certainly would hate to see someone not make journals because they felt like they couldn't operate a sewing machine or didn't have one, because you can certainly do many creative and beautiful things without using the sewing machine in a journal. So the next fabric element in here was just the lace that I glued on to the side of this page here. And when I look page through my signature, I look for areas that could use a pop of color or a bit of texture. And so I decided to use this page. And then the opposite page here is where I made a fabric tab. And a tab is just kind of a long, not even very long, maybe this wide. What is this? About 3 inches. 3 inches. I'd say 3 inches by about 1.5 inches, and just tear it, and then when you fold it in half, it'll create a square, right? And then you've got your fabric tab. So all you need is just a littlest, smallest amounts of fabric to use those fabric tabs. And it's fun if you've used fabric to kind of use some of a half dozen or so different fabrics throughout the journal. It gives it a bit of a cohesive look. And then I sewed this little vintage button on there. I sewed the button onto one side of the tab and then glued the whole element down. Okay. And then I'm going to move along. I'm kind of trying to hurry a little bit because my camera keeps shutting off while I'm filming, and then I have to start over, so I'm getting a little nervous. Anyway, in this second signature, the first fabric element is another tab, and I did it just the way I did the other one. I just chose another coordinating fabric. This is the one that I used on the spine, and sewed a button on there. And I thought, in particular, this one looked nice on this side with the center, with all the vibrant colors and the gold and such. I thought it added a pop of color, nice pop of color there. And then the third fabric element in this one the second, is a belly band. And I'm going to talk about this for a little bit. This was a very simple belly band that I made. And they are very simple. I have this roll of vintage lace. It's kind of ribbon and lace. And I wish I had 1,000,000 yards of it, because when this is gone. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just love it so much. I found it at an estate sale, and I use it everywhere in my journals. You probably have seen it if you've seen a lot of my journals. I use it alone for a belly band sometimes, just like that, with maybe a little charm at the top, or I've sewn buttons on it. I cut it to the size of the page, and it's what I used to create this base here. So basically what I did was I just pulled out my teeny little pieces, and I keep them in just like a Ziploc bag for Christmas and for different themes and different colors. And I can just pull these tiny little pieces that would ordinarily not be big enough to use anywhere, and I can use them to create a belly band. And then just kind of however you want to do it. And you can then sew it with a zigzag stitch, or if you don't sew, you can glue them down. And then I also took things like charms and appliques, and I sewed buttons on there. And you can just, no two are ever really alike, or no two sections of a long belly band are ever alike. So that's how I make my belly bands for each journal, because I do like to use the specific fabrics that I'm using throughout the journal. And in this one I added, I sewed on 2 buttons. I have a charm on a safety pin, a couple of appliques, and a rhinestone. So that's how I created that one. And then the last element in the second signature is just the lace that I added to this Edith Holden page. Okay, and then in the last signature, the first fabric element is yet another fabric tab, and I chose this fabric here. Whoops. This fabric I got at Dollar Tree along with this one. I bought it at the same time. They kind of coordinate. And they were just in a tiny little roll in a box, different fabrics, and they were $1.25 as the fabrics are now, or they might have been $1 when I got these, I don't know. But I dipped them in some coffee because they were bright white, and it gave me the look that I was looking for. I just dipped them in coffee. I didn't wash them first. I just dipped them in coffee and squeezed them out with my hands and let them dry. So it's very simple. And if you're not a coffee drinker, you can buy just the little individual packets of instant coffee. Even the Dollar Tree sells those in their coffee aisle. They sell instant coffee, and you can just mix it with some water in a cup or a bowl and just dip your fabrics in. So anyway, I thought it looked pretty cute with the black and the red that are in this page, and also and especially with the center, because I liked the black, the way the black in the fabric pulls out the black in this wrapping paper that I used to cover this greeting card with. So that's that fabric element. And then this is the fabric tuck. I make a large tuck, usually, sometimes even more than one, in each of my journals, and I really enjoy making them. And this is a crazy fun piece that I found in some vintage sewing stuff that I bought at an estate sale. And I don't know if it came with a sewing machine to showcase the stitches that the machine did, or if someone made this as a sample of what their machine could do. I don't know its origin, but I sure do love it. So I've been itching to use it in a Christmas journal. So, and these are those 2 Dollar Tree fabrics, and I just thought that looked really pretty together. Okay, and then also the lace trim on the page in the third signature. I kind of did red and then